John Kavakis for Form 43 here, and this is my take. Today we're going to do a short take on Esval's Delahaye 1949-1950 135M with bodywork by Guillore. So Delahaye is actually one of the oldest manufacturers in the world. They started out in 1896. They weren't known for very luxurious, very sporty cars up until the year what year was it they did the 135? It was 1935. And so in 1935, they introduced a new model called the 135, and it was a bit more luxurious and quite a bit more sporty than anything Delahaye had done before. Well, it became their hallmark. It changed the entire country. And from then on, they had a reputation for building sportier cars. They were all right-hand drive because they were French. But they had a reputation for sportier, better-built cars. And by the time we got into the late 40s, there were some coach builders who were working with them. And, of course, this is an example of one of them. Guillore was a French coach builder. And they came out with this two-door coupe edition of the Delahaye 135M, which would have been one of their sportier models. So let's take it on, put it on the turntable and take a look at it. And I pulled up a couple of pictures of these off the internet. And the first thing I can say is that the color is accurate. Once again, Delahaye's style is very European. So the proportions are, to me, they look elegant. For the United States, this would be a little bit of a smaller car. But Esval does such a great job with lensing. The grill work, the little Delahaye patch on the top of the grill is just beautifully done, and you really need a magnifying glass to see how well the detail is done on that. The trim is good, and I did really want to call out the shut lines on the trunk and the hood are expertly done. The windshield wipers are to scale. The trim around the windshield is to scale. I am going to call out the side trim going along the full length of the car, and the hood trim. It looks good, but on closer examination, it's photo etch, it's flat, it's kind of two-dimensional. I've talked about this before. It would be considerably more expensive. Price points would have to raise if we were to have some dimensionality in those. But to keep to the price point, this is an effective way to put the trim on there without detracting too much from the car. The wheels on this car are really well done. And at first glance, they look like they're not deep enough, but boy, they are accurate representations of what the 1.1 car was like. The interior is good. There's a lot of detail in the interior. The side windows are up, and it's just hard to see the interior. Now, this car came in an ivory color and blue, and it looks to me, from what I can tell, both colors are accurate. The interior on the ivory one is a little bit easier to see because it's in red, but it's difficult either way. Those vent windows on the sides are photo etch and suffer from the same flat dimensions that we're talking about on some of the other trim. But other than that, the car's just really well done. Little latches on the trunk are well picked out. The trunk handle is there. The Delahaye badging is particularly good on this model. It's a beautiful model. So let's go to the rating. I'm going to give this a 5 for fidelity. Typical Esval is accurate to the proportions and lines of the car. Trim and badging, I'm going to give it a 3, just because of this photo etching the issues that we've been talking about. Color, near as I can tell, should get 5 stars. Interior detail, once again, this would have a higher grade on interior detail if we could see it. So my value and bang for the buck here at $104.95 is going to be, I think, a 3.5. If we add up the numbers, it comes to 24.5. That takes our overall rating at 4.0. So that's our rating on our look at Esval's 1949-1950 Delahaye 135M Coupe with bodied by Guillore. And thanks for spending time with me. I appreciate you tuning in. We've got more coming over the next few days.